Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Worldwide People's Championship title, week 14. And here we go. We have the final of U-2000. We have UES Shepard, who won the qualifiers for U-2000. TA for life uploaded that on his channel. And Adzi, who's the defending champion, beating me and then defending his title. So, a very strong player from Latvia, of all places. And I haven't been able to do a cast for a long time, and it's not from negligence. I've wanted to, but I just haven't had time. It's been a ridiculous week. So I've only been able to come on for half an hour to an hour at a time, and I've never been able to tell if I would be able to cast or not. So enough of that. We have Winter Duel as the first map, which was selected by UES Shepard. The finals are now in a best of 5, so we're going to have 5 games between these two players. And both chose UEF. Of course, I get messaged as soon as I start. I mean, really. I didn't get messaged at all for the last hour that I've been sitting here, and now I do. Anyway. And I believe UEF is the best faction for this map because it is so small. You have to fight through a choke, so having a strong ACU and being good at base wars is obviously a good thing. So we have how many P-gens? 5, 6. So 6 from Adzi, and Shepard is going to go with 2 plus the Hydro before he makes anything else. So no air from Shepard, but we do see second air with just 6 P-gens for Adzi. This map has a lot of mastery claim early on, so need to make a good build order. I think you can afford to go with 8 power here, although Adzi going with even lower than usual, going with 6. And now first Mech Marine, 1 apiece, and a Scout as well for each player, so they have perfect intelligence. And Shepard not wanting to engage, he wants to bring his tank forward and support. They are going to see more land factories come up for Shepard, so he may be going for some sort of early spam. This map is very difficult because it's so hard to decide what you want to do. So many different possibilities, and Adzi has won this Mech Marine fight. He gets the first kill of the game. I'm not sure where his Scout went. Maybe he didn't get the first kill of the game. Not that it matters, because now this tank will likely clean up, although this Mech Marine will get the second kill, up to 2 stars now. It's a veteran, and if it just avoids the tank somehow, which it can as it's been cornered. Although, yeah, I was going to say, it had to be. Now lots of artillery being produced by Shepard, so maybe he has some sort of plan here, although it's going to be thrown a little bit off by Adzi's bombers, because bombers are a good counter to T1 Arty. And I just want to see Adzi's economy. It's actually really good. He's managed to find the right balance between reclaim and spending, because he is keeping his eco steady while upgrading mexes. He's making quite a few bombers, actually. So here we're seeing one player going with a massive land spam, already up to 4 factories, getting a 5th, and probably has a decent eco. Yeah, because he's practiced the map as well. So both players playing very well and choosing very different strats. Adzi is about to get his first T2 mass extractor, and once again keeping his eco nearly perfect. So he's got that. Now he has a much better economy than Shepard. And we're going to see what happens here. Big Doom push coming in through the middle from Shepard, and Adzi just has his air units to defend. He doesn't have a single land unit that shoots, not a single one. And where are these bombers going? They should probably be going after the artillery. That's what I would do, although Adzi is much better than me, so I won't complain too much. They are going after power. Somehow they failed to kill that power gen. Ridiculous. This is going pretty badly for Adzi so far. His bombers are getting shot out of the air. And now he doesn't really have anything to defend. Now he is trying to force out this upgrade. He needs to pause everything, though. I can imagine his power is not doing well at all. He needs to pause his air factory, his land factory, and these. Just if he really wants to get this, he just needs to force it out. No reason to be making anything else, because at the moment he's going to get run over. So I like the idea from Adzi, but Shepard had a very good build here, and he just sort of came in with everything. So unless he does something really retarded, now he's going to win. And I think if those bombers had gone after these artillery, because one pass does kill one of these, Adzi might have been in decent shape. And if he gets this gun, he might still stand a decent chance, although now he's being targeted, and you're going to start seeing massive volleys in the face to Adzi's ACU. And with UEF artillery bearing down, it's very difficult. Although he has got the gun now, and if he dodges, maybe he can do something, because now at this point he can kill the Lobos with one shot. Although if he makes one mistake, he's in very big trouble. Obviously, the Lobos do quite a bit of damage, so Adsy has basically lost. There's nothing Shepard that he can do against Shepard's spam now, but at least he has got the gun. So if he must die, he'll die in style. But 6 minutes, very quick game one, and Shepard is going to take a 1-0 lead here because Adsy can't keep this up forever, and eventually he's just going to decide to stop because Shepard will probably switch to tank soon, and that'll put an end to these shenanigans. 13 kills now for Adsy, down to 1100 HP. And this is just slow whittling away. 300. Shepard brings his ACU in, so it's over now. And even though it's 1-0 to Shepard, it's a best of 5, so you have to win 3. And Adsy has the choice of the next map. So let's see what he picks. I actually don't know because I haven't watched these. So hopefully people enjoyed this first game, and we're going to have the second one in a second. Oh my god. Okay, that's probably your reaction now, is you see this map, hard FFA, and I do not know who in their right minds would actually pick to play on this map, but Adsy has, and he has chosen hard FFA, which is ridiculous, and both of them have gone UEF, and once again, UEF is by far the best faction for this map, so very UEF biased finals so far. And Adsy is complaining about his bombers in the first game, which he has a right to do so because they were extremely bad, and it wasn't his fault. He had a good idea, but a little bit too much from Shepard. So obviously the standard UEF opening on this map is drone first. That's why they're the best faction. And at the beginning, you have a choice to either be cheap or be cool, and blue players are going to avoid each other with their ACUs, it seems, and sending their drones to different areas. And Shepard is trying to follow Adsy. So that's a pretty dick move, but if you keep your drone away, then you're still in pretty good shape. Even if you can't get a base built with your ACU, your drone will take care of things. But this is probably not the best move from Shepard, moving so close to Adsy. You see Adsy chose the right move, moving his drone to the opposite end of the map to start a base here. So this is most likely the only map where you won't see a single structure built for maybe the first 2 minutes unless someone goes first Navy, which never happens these days as players have figured out how to play this map. And Adsy now luring Shepard. No, this is actually not. This is Shepard's drone. So Adsy choosing exactly the right direction. Probably a total accident, but they're getting their bases built at similar rates. And this is very bad luck for Shepard. He needs to move this drone to the opposite end. Maybe get it over here and build a base. Or somewhere else, because this factory likely won't get to do much. You see Adsy with plenty of health. He's just going to start reclaiming this factory to death while making his own base. So Adsy is already in a very strong position, and we'll see how he manages here, reclaiming the engines as they come out. And still, see, this is the problem. You can't really put enough damage on the UEF ACU to prevent them from reclaiming all your stuff because he's still at 5700 HP. Shepard is trying to block him, but it's not going to work. He has too much health left. So Shepard's going to have to go on a hunt. You saw he had some waypoints queued, but he's got rid of them. And now making his factory elsewhere. And we see the drone from Adsy now is going to take over the mass extractors in the middle. So having your drone also gives you lots of flexibility in terms of where to move and how to, and expanding, if that was terrible speaking. And Shepard just getting the reclaim. People often forget that there's a huge amount of reclaim on this map. It's everywhere. This is DeRosa style reclaim, so if you get your hands on it, you're going to be in very good shape. And it's going to be a very slow naval factor from Adsy, grabbing all of the middle mass extractors first, all 8 of them. Incidentally, the reason why I didn't upload whichever WWPCT I was supposed to between Zaphod and Samurai Soul, it was just too boring, and figured it'd be a waste of time to upload it, so I didn't, and I'm enjoying this a lot better. You have to remember Shepard is 1-0 up ahead, so he can afford a loss here. We see Adsy now making second base while expanding in 2 different locations, and we might see an engineer fight over this area, although the drone with a massive advantage over normal engineers for pretty self-explanatory reasons, and Shepard making his power in an obscure location. Not sure what he has in mind there. And if my voice is off, I was very sick a few days ago, but I have gotten better. It's just that my voice is still a little bit bad. And now, first air of the game at minute 5:30. This is in vast contrast to what Adsy did earlier, and this is going to be a great bomb here. making up for the bad bombers he had last game. Shepard doesn't like it at all. Forced to make flak, and that just put Shepard in a really bad spot. If this NG gets killed now, although that was a fairly lucky dodge from Shepard. Now with Navy coming up for Adsy, and he's already got a massive advantage in land, he looks set to take this game. And if Adsy is able to tie this up, he will be in a very good position, as he will be able to choose the next map as well. That's the way the format is. And Shepard doing what Adsy did last time, just trying to force upgrades out of his ace. Does he have any power at all? No, he doesn't. He has barely enough power. He has 6 P-gens overall. Does he have any Hydros? No. And he just sees an NG walking out of nowhere to capture all his mexes. So Adsy is in such a superior position that once again, unless he does something retarded, then he's going to win, and Shepard is going to have to fight back in game number 3. Although with this gun, he can probably make a very nice push. Adsy has a very good land production setup, already getting more factories, probably maxing out a mass. Well, he was very close to, probably did at some point. That can be a problem on this map, not having enough build capacity and not having enough power, because there's so many mass extractors and so much reclaim that you really do need a lot of power. Is this? I'm not sure what's going on here. Shepard saying, yeah, lol. Not sure what he's talking about, to be honest. I actually don't. But a wink from Adsy. And Shepard says, you lucked hard, you found my drone, but you do need a bit of luck to win U-2000. I think that's been agreed on by everybody. Obviously, I came close to doing it, but I wasn't able to. Player that beat me was Adsy. That was 1-2. I lost by 1 game to 2. So if that was actually a pretty entertaining series. So if anyone wants to watch it, TA uploaded that as well. He seems to upload everything that everyone else doesn't. Of course he does. I'm retarded. Way to point out the obvious. Okay, if Shepard overcharges this though, because this is a little bit too close for comfort. Although obviously he has no power and no storage, and T2 air for Adsy. So this game is over. And if it wasn't already over, now it's officially over. US Shepard throws in the towel. GG is called, and we're going to go to game 3 where Adsy has the choice of a map, and it is now 1-1. So Shepard now staring at a very difficult prospect in game 3. So let's move there now. And here we go, game 3. Adsy has chosen Canis 4v4. The new ladder map, which everyone seems to hate, and I have never gotten to play this 1v1. The only time I was able to get on it was one time where it matched me there, but the game crashed inside 5 seconds, so I didn't actually get to play on this map. But we've seen some epic games here. We saw, I think it was Deathly and Voodoo had an epic game here, as well as Blackheart versus Voodoo, my clanmate, who, by the way, is in the top 5 now in the global rankings, so he's turning into a very good player. And now I'm getting totally off topic, bragging about my clan or whatever other shit I'm talking about. So we see Adsy for the first time not choosing UEF, first time in this series that someone hasn't chosen UEF. Shepard's still sticking with his UEF, and he's doing a build that is standard when the Hydro is this close. This is actually something that newbies should pay attention to. When the Hydro is this close, all you really need is to make 3 mexes with your ACU and just go after the Hydro. It's cheap early power and identical stuff from Shepard here. So their scores, as you can see, are basically the same because they're doing basically the same openings. And this is the one map that they've chosen so far that maybe UEF isn't the best choice. I definitely like Seraphim more, although my first choice on this map would be Cyber, and simply because of the fast rating and the benefits of a massive spam, which is possible. You can see the amount of reclaim here, as well as all the mass extractors that you can get. This is normally a team map, which is fairly self-explanatory. And lots of orders for this NG, very ambitious. He's going on a Hydro mission, and he's going to try to get all 3 of them. Hopefully he doesn't get killed. And Adsy, with almost no power, going for an air factory. This is the equivalent of 5 Pigeons, and I'm very curious to see how his eco is going to do. Although he's not going for first bomber, it looks like they cost exactly the same as interceptors. This is going to be interesting because he doesn't really have yeah, I don't know about this from Adsy. Maybe he's got something figured out here, but it looks like he's a little bit confused right now. You really do need, you can't really function an air factory off of 100 power, and it looks like Shepard was having the exact same problem. So despite Adsy making a pretty big mistake, Shepard made the same mistake, so you can say it's pretty even in that regard. and first inti from Adsy, first inti from Shepard as well. So both players expecting bombers from the other player and making interceptors instead. So I like the fact that they've become familiar with each other, and now Adsy, once he gets this, he'll be all set in terms of power. Really, an extra 100 power will do very nicely for him. And he really needs to start getting some land up. Shepard hasn't really started his land spam either. And this first scout from Adsy reaching Shepard's base, although Shepard had already scouted his base. Both players are going to see no land factories, no spam factories up and running as of yet. We see some mech marines, probably defensive mech marines from Shepard, but they're not defensive because they're going on a mission. And playing very wide as Shepard with his mech marines, sending them all over the place. And I'm surprised that he has a higher score. He's made a lot more attacking units, and even though Adsy made a few of his own, he hasn't really used them to attack. And finally, land spam coming up from Adsy. This is characteristic Adsy. You can see the number of factories that he's planned. Let's just take a look at how many he's dragged. 26. You would never see that unless it's like Crazy Rush or some other shit. And Shepard using the mechs adjacency, this is nice to see. Not enough players do this. With the new patches, or at least the patches from about a month ago or so. No, more than a month ago, but somewhat recent. If you put your factories around mechs, you get a much bigger bonus than you used to, so I like that Shepard is using that. It's especially nice on ecoing maps like Settons. And now a mech marine from Shepard gets all the way in the back of Adsy's base. He needs to start microing it so it doesn't get reclaimed. And he just barely pulls it out. He's got 13 HP left. He's going to pick off the second NG. And this bomber could put an end to this trickery from Adsy, but it hasn't. And he's going to pick off all three engineers as Shepard. That was amazing. Great control of that mech marine from Shepard. And it's going to cause all kinds of headaches for Adsy now. And it's probably going to die now. But it did its job. 3 engineers lost. And more assaults coming in from Shepard. But the tanks are well spaced out from Adsy to prevent this. That's going to be tragic. Could put that down to a lack of scouting, but no one's going to be scouting when they send their mech marines in. Scouts cost more than mech marines. So Shepard with a pretty big advantage now. Killed the engineers on the back of Adsy's base, so he can't really get his hydros or anything going. And Shepard is claiming those at his own leisure. Oh, I still haven't sped this up yet. See lots of crap being amassed inside Shepard's base. And just ridiculous amounts of land factories, and that's for both players. Oh my god, 5 engineers for Adsy? This is ridiculous. 5 engineers on the land spam. And each of them takes up 35 power. That's the real problem with putting too many engines on your land spam. It's not really the mass drain, because that doesn't last too long. It's the power drain. It's ridiculous. These entities don't want to land, because there is land shit coming in. Incidentally, I have more of those BC team POV gameplay videos that I could upload, but it kind of offended some of my clan members, so I will ignore them if the majority of the viewers want them. So if you want another one of those, because I think people found it pretty entertaining, I will upload another one, because those are pretty nice. I saw a comment that said Germans saying fuck is one of the more entertaining things in this world, and that is true actually. No offense to anyone. And not sure why this one NG is assisting the factory. Not going to get much of a bonus out of that. And both players took their time to expand to the rest of the map. We see minute 7 and not nearly all of the mask checkers are claimed. No one has even gone for these because there's so much mass in your base. You don't need to go for them. And now this is bad from Adsy, letting his units go in one by one. He realizes what's going on, but those were some free kills for Shepard and some free reclaim if he wants to get that. And now it's going to come down to micro. The players want to keep their ACUs forward and their units back. Adsy has the gun. When did he get the gun? Oh, this is a development. Because Shepard needs to do something. He needs to block Adsy off. He needs to run to the water. He needs to escape, because right now Adsy is in a position to annihilate everything. I'm not sure when he got the gun. And raiding in the back of Shepard's base. Adsy is all over Shepard right now. That was a turn. I did not expect that at all. And Adsy throwing Shepard into the water basically. And his land spam is in full earnest now. Now Shepard making T2 air, and I will really want to know what units come out of this. Shepard is famous for his T2 ghetto gunships, and indeed we see that. That was actually just a prediction. I have not seen this game. I don't know what happens. Now we have artillery joining the attack for Adsi, going across the river. His ACU is offering very big firepower. Shepard trying in vain to do a counterattack, but there's so much spam for Adsi. It's going to be very hard. Raiding units in the back. All kinds of problems for Shepard. You can see the score difference increasing. Mech Marines being produced in massive quantities from Shepard right now, getting tons of T2 transports, trying to distract Atsu with his ACU right now, but he has to be careful not to get overrun while he's making those ghetto gunships, because they are basically his only hope right now. You can see how much better Adsi is doing. Adsi should have seen those by now, or if he hasn't, he has to have guessed something. There are no more units coming out of Shepard's base. These are the last attacking units he has on the map. And sitting in the water, he should be okay until Adsi gets intel and then starts ground firing him. And here come the ghetto gunships from Shepard. Looks like he is going to make even more. He's got 4 already. And now scouts being produced at a huge rate, and tons of mech marines ready. So many interceptors for Adsi though that maybe it's not going to work. See Shepard trying to put some extra firepower. This is probably a bad move here. The ghettos are inbound. Obviously you can target with these, and Adsi is going to start losing health very fast, but you're going to see massive health reductions for Shepard. And it's a draw. So this series is still tied after game 3. Very well done, Shepard. That was an excellent snipe. Although maybe if you had kept your ACU in the water, and now we're in game 4 between Shepard and Adsi. And now it's on Varga Pass. Shepard now with the advantage. He got to choose this map. And I thought that Adsi for sure had a 2-1 lead there, because he would have taken over the map. I mean, he did everything right in that game 3. He had the better spam, early gun, rushed. Shepard raided his base. Everything right, except maybe his early build order, but it didn't matter because he still did better in the late run. But Shepard with an awesome snipe, so it is now 1-1-1 since Shepard had to sacrifice his ACU in the last game. Probably the right call though, if you think about it. He put the extra damage on, so probably worth sacrificing himself to get a choice of the map. So anything can still happen. The series could still be decided within 5 games if someone wins the next 2 games in a row. This is game 4, and Shepard for the 4th time in a row picking UEF. And on Varga Pass, this map is very bizarre. You get 1 mass extractor. That is it. You get this little piece of crap right here. But you do get quite a bit of reclaim, so if you know about it, you're in good shape. And Adsi does know about it, even though he was complaining he has no idea how to play this map. He has a very good build order, it seems, because that was about the amount of mass he needed, so he must have used up all his mass. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Also, I'm kind of pissed off that the last game, Bandicam just crashed on me at the end there, so I didn't get to have the dramatic ending that I wanted. But whatever. As I say, I haven't watched this, so I don't know how it turns out. I don't understand how Adsi says he doesn't know how to play this map. If he knows about these reclaimables right here, and he recognizes that he needs to get them, so he's protecting his engineers to get there, then he definitely knows how to play this map. And Shepard now probably has practiced this since he chose it, because you tend to practice the maps that you choose in tournaments. And this series couldn't really be better. We're at 1 game apiece now on a draw, and all 3 games have been very nice. So I'm hoping to see more of the same here, more high quality games. This is probably the one map where grid formations are probably a good thing, because you really do want to squeeze every possible bonus out of your factories that you can. And now Shepard stalling very hard. He has to get some of this reclaim right now. So definitely has a build order, just could possibly be a little bit better. I've always assumed that Varga Pass was all about this reclaim, but I actually had no clue about this reclaim right here. So if I had seen you about that, then he definitely knows how to play this map better than me. I think I've played this map maybe 3 times overall in my entire life, and all 3 of those were ranked games on GPGnet, so I don't have any experience on this map either. Although I think I won all 3 of those, so I can't remember losing on this map, so that's kind of nice. There I go, off topic again. And now a bomber from Adsi. And avoiding the interceptor from Shepard, this is very big in this game. See, the scout has now spotted it. Why has he not attacked? What is this? Now the scout has seen it for sure. Still not being attacked. It has now been targeted, so he has to get a bomb off as soon as possible. If he can use it to defend against this mech marine from Shepard, it'll be perfect. A perfect bomber. It's already killed an engineer. It might defend an engineer now. And saves the mass extractor as well. So even though he just lost the bomber, he saves the mass extractor and the Engie. So great play from Adsy there, but Shepard with a better build and a better score, better eco, and Adsy might not be able to get into his spamming stride now. He has got a good eco now, although he's about to crash on power. So maybe what Adsy means that he doesn't have experience with eco on this map or something like that, because Shepard has taken over most of his side. There was that little mishap with the engineer, but Shepard in good shape in terms of map control now. I've seen some great games on this map in the past. I remember some APC games here. The Imba Cup qualifiers had some amazing games here between DCCC and various challengers like Chevalier. It was great. Those were good times back when I was still a noob. To me, this game has always been more exciting when you're a noob. At least that's the feeling I've gotten. Now that I've gotten good at this game, it doesn't seem to have the same excitement that it used to, and this is just obscene. Adsy taking mass right next to Shepard's ACO, he didn't even do anything about it. I mean, I like that. It's a good thing to do, but still can be pretty annoying once you watch the replay and find out that that was happening to you. And I've never really understood the purpose of these huge flat plains back here. There is barely any mass to reclaim. Those trees are practically worthless. And that just leaves... Your base is basically a sitting duck. It's got one mass extractor, and it's in the middle of an open field where anything can happen. So if you lose map control, your base is basically screwed because they can go anywhere they want. Attack from this massive plateau area. So this map is really can really be very intimidating. And I can see why people were scared of it back in GBGNet days. Although, I would think that Cybern would actually be the best faction on this map. Quick air, Jester openings can be very potent here since you've only got a single mass extractor. There's very little chance of being attacked early on. So Jesters can really screw the other person. So, once again, if I were playing in this, I would probably have picked Cybern and gone first Jester. And Adsy has almost caught up in score. He did spam out those factories very quickly. And getting more up here, so map control, but this is what I was talking about. You cannot possibly defend from all angles unless you're pushing yourself. And once these units come out and Shepard is able to utilize his numbers advantage, he'll be in a good shape to run Adsy's base over, I think, especially with his ACU coming in. Adsy, he needs to find out about that ACU. He has no radar coverage. He doesn't even know the extent of the army that Shepard has here. Otherwise, these things would probably be moving up there. He is pushing on the top, but bad geometry from his units. Although he has managed to sneak through here, these units are getting slaughtered one at a time, though, by Shepard. And soon Adsy is going to realize that Shepard has very big ambitions here, and he has got his ACU forward. This is going to be a very big push from Shepard now on the top. Adsy just using his ACU to reclaim. Only 2 kills on it. Shepard with 6. And Shepard defends. Maybe wants to get an engineer out here and start reclaiming and rebuilding. Although he has got the land factor, so what am I saying? He's just going to make a new NG right on the spot. And if these units join up with his ACU and his forward army, he could be in good shape. Although Adsy is pushing very hard on the other side, so we can definitely foresee some sort of base trade happen here. Although Shepard does not want these units to move too far forward. These are his source of damage. He needs a tank, and his ACU is basically the tank in this situation. He is going to start pushing this force forward. This is a lot of tanks, lots of firepower. And Adsy's doing a similar thing to Shepard, so both players attacking similarly, and everything's been paused for Shepard. This is really weird. And terrain playing a big part now as Shepard is trying to close in on Adsy, but he's having difficulties. And this is going to get interesting. If Shepard can keep his own ACU alive, and if he can surround Adsy's ACU, he could be in a good position. He doesn't want to be throwing his units away to Adsy's ACU though, because this is going to do absolutely nothing to Adsy. But this force certainly can. This is going to be a very interesting confrontation here, and all these units can't really leave Adsy's base because they have to defend against the threat of the ACU. As Adsy realizes that the ACU has left, he's going to figure it out soon. Oh, they need to stop doing that. And Adsy in big trouble now. Shepard bearing down on him from all angles, and I thought Adsy was in a better position actually. And now Shepard has totally surrounded him. He has no reinforcements. And Adsy could die here. He's totally surrounded by hostile units, nothing in support. And taking so many shots to the face now. Scrunched right up against Shepard's units. Maybe a target fire now would be the way to go. Definitely doesn't want to let him escape now. He has targeted him. And Adsy is most likely, in all likelihood, going to die here. Although maybe not. Is he going to pull this off? Is Adsy going to survive this? He's at 800 health, and I thought for sure he was dead. And a veterancy boost as well. Massive reclaim for Adsy, and Shepard calls it GG. No, bring this. He might as well bring this into. Oh. Yet another ghetto from Adsy. And he is now targeting the ACU. Is he going to do it? Is he going to pull this off? Oh my god. Shepard, you are a crazy man. Oh. Or not, lol. Haha. That's why he paused everything. So that was a massive troll there from UES Shepard. And just look at the map. Here's his ACU. Here's 100 or so units from Adsy. But all that matters is who dies. And Shepard has just killed Adsy in game 4. And if he can win the next game, he will be the U-2000 champion. It's now 2-1-1 in favor of Shepard. So, moving on to game 5, where I can't remember who gets the map choice here. I think it's Adsy, though, so he has the chance to pick a good map for himself. So let's move on to game 5. Okay, game 5. Adsy gets the map choice, and he's chosen 4-leaf clover. And this is do or die for Adsy at this point. He needs to win. Otherwise, anything other than a win will equal an overall series win for Shepard. If Adsy can win, he'll push it to a game 6. But if Shepard wins or gets a draw, it'll be a win for him. So Shepard in the better position. Adsy says no ghettos this time, please. Because in the last 2 games, Shepard has used ghettos to great effect to salvage lost games. First he got a draw and then a win. The win, though, was ridiculous. I mean, that was really unreal for Shepard. And he says, in your dreams for no ghettos, please. Ghettos are what Shepard lives for. He's the king of pianos. He's a master musician from the New York nightclubs. And how many P-gens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So standard now from Adsy for the first time. Shepard going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So kind of risky from Shepard. 6 P-gens. Either you make it work or you don't. Probably hinting that he wants more in terms of land units. And we do see lots of scouts coming up. Maybe more mech marines. So combat teams escorting these engineers. And I've always thought on this map, first engineer to the middle is a game winner. And I remember Adsy beat me on this map after it was 1-1 in our series in the U-2000 final. And he beat me here, and he won 2-1 against me. I'd beaten him on Veil of Isis, but that didn't count in the end. And my voice, what the fuck? Alright, this is going to be a huge mass boost for Adsy. And the manual reclaim gives you a very big speed advantage. I'm going to do what everyone else does. I'm going to be staring at something random while a battle goes on around me. And this NG from Shepard just being a thief, an absolute thief. And tanks in anticipation of Adsy's tanks. And Shepard with the health advantage now. He's going to be able to pick that up, assumably, unless this NG gets too far away from its protection, then something could happen. Adsy now walking out of his base, trying to get to the middle. Now he's going to realize that his mass has been stolen from him. Adsy with 500 reclaim, Shepard with 2,000. And this is what I was talking about. The NG got too far away from its protection. And even though the tank's going to die, it did its job, denied expansion. And no bombs dropped, saved at the last second by Shepard. And Adsy somehow with a better score. And using the 3 engineers on his land spam, Adsy seems to be a habit for him. He uses more than the standard 2 engies for his land spam. Kind of weird. And here comes a bomber from Shepard. Totally misses. How does that even happen? I will never understand the crappiness of UEF bombers. Will finally get it. Or won't he? 5 HP. Whoa. That. Is everyone else seeing what I'm seeing? Because it doesn't get unluckier than that. Really doesn't. And Shepard put a lot of time and concentration into that bomber, and you see he doesn't get his reward. This engineer is the luckiest man on the planet. Assisting the factory to just force units out. And 2 engies on power for Adsy. But Adsy is extremely good on 4-leaf clover, so we'll see if he's able to pull something off. Getting the gun upgrade very early, just as he has done in the past in this series. Keeping his eco perfect as well. You can see, this is something I'd like to point out. Even though he's almost stalling, he's not. He's keeping it in the single digits of mass, which is an absolutely perfect economy from Adsy. I'm very impressed right now, man. Come on, you gotta keep this up. We see a gun now has been made for Adsy. And he's going to be walking out. He doesn't even need to use his superior spam as he has got the gun. And people don't expect this. He did this against me on this same map in the same matchup, U-2000 final. Although Shepard has a little bit of breathing room, a game to spare right now, he has still the advantage. And he's going to run headfirst into Adsy's gun. He doesn't even know the ACU is there. Now he's going to realize the gun is in play, and he's going to have to retreat with everything. This is so demoralizing when you can't even see the ACU that's shooting you. You just see it on radar and then shots coming out of nowhere. And you can't really do anything about it because Adsy will simply kite now. So it really is very demoralizing. And Shepard's innies were getting shot in the back there. Although it is a very even air fight, Adsy is going to win. And with air control and with this kind of spam and gun, all these other nice things that Adsy has, Shepard's going to try to block him, which is the right move. You can see just the pounding that he's taken from Adsy's ACU. And Adsy is in no danger of dying anytime soon. He has taken over the entire map now with that drive through the middle. He's been able to capture the sides. And this game is also essentially over unless Shepard does something. And we can see Adsy with a ridiculous amount of interceptors. He's like, no more ghettos for you, man. And we see Shepard is going to try it. This is what he does when he's losing. T2 air and transports and mech marines. And if Adsy scouts, which he should scout, he should be expecting this at this point in time. He's not going to be happy if he sees that. At this point, Adsy should just walk in and end the game because he can. Man, I'm sick. What the fuck? I thought I got better. This is a nice distraction from Shepard. So he is good at distracting his opponents while he gets these ghettos, it seems. Although maybe instead of these T2 ghettos, a better move would be simply to get the gun in his ACU himself. Maybe force that out. Because he's not even getting these transports very fast. It takes a minute to build one. And he hasn't even got that much build capacity on it. And everything is control K'd from Shepard. Just trying to use all the mass he can possibly get. Recycling his factories. He could probably get rid of some of this power too if he's going that all in, because he realizes there's absolutely no way he can win. He's got Adsy driving through the middle. Adsy's got the entire map. And now a scout from Adsy is going to move in and deny. He says, seriously? This is ultimate disrespect from Shepard, and he knows it. These ghettos have been found, and we'll see if it works this time. Anti-air being spammed up in all directions for Adsy, and he's losing health very fast once again. I thought it might work for a second there, but the innies came in at the last second. And I'm expecting control K from Shepard. There's really no reason to continue. So with this game 1 for Adsy, it's going to be 2-2-1, and it just officially became 2-2-1. We're gonna have a game 6 in this best of 5, which is not something you hear very often. And the winner of game 6 takes the series. So let's move on now. And now here we go. Game 6 between Shepard and Adsy, and for the very first time, Shepard does not pick UEF. We're gonna have a Seraphim on Seraphim here. This final has been exclusively UEF and Seraphim, no Aeon or Cybern. But there's been no lack of tactics used by these players. Although the ghetto gunship thing is getting a little bit old, thankfully there's no way he can do it now. Adsy says, you know, Sarah have no ghettos, right? Just making sure that Shepard knows what he's talking about. Nice thing to do. And now that it's 2-2-1 in the series, both players must have a lot of respect for each other. And a win here for either player is enough to win the title for U-2000. Adsy is on the verge of defending it, while Shepard is also on the verge, but he could steal it. And, or are you just gonna load up T2 bots? I'm sorry, but those don't shoot either. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have OCD about these kinds of things, you know. And we have 6 from Shepard. So once again, going with slightly risky play and not even getting the 6 with his ACU. So Shepard just kind of making stuff up as he goes, it seems. And Adsy got to pick this map, Dry Canyon. Very strange map. I almost compare this to a bigger version of Winter Duel. Obviously, it's much, much wider than Winter Duel, but it's laid out sort of similarly. I'm sure I'll get yelled at for making that comparison. That's just the way it is. On YouTube, you get yelled at for everything. And I will make some closing remarks at the end of this series if I can. I hope that I actually remember to do so. And yeah, so Shepard gets a bomber out, and Adsy also getting a bomber out. First air units were bombers from both players. And Shepard was ahead, but doesn't really matter when both players have their bombers out. And Adsy, with the economy to continue making air units, got a scout and not making interceptors. And then we'll see how good Shepard's micro is. Not very good. Obviously, it's very difficult to control your bombers, but I'm still gonna rage at him. And bomber lands on the engineer with all the factory plans. And if he gets this, where is this going? From Shepard. What the fuck was that? And 1 kill for Adsy, so bombers are even. And gets that one as well, so takes the lead over Shepard in terms of bomber kills. And once again, Adsy with a very good score at the beginning. He's just the master of opening up. He just knows exactly what to do. Obviously, by now, both players are very familiar with each other, and Shepard should be expecting an extremely large land spam from Adsy. And that is forthcoming. We already have 4 land factories up and running for Adsy, while we have just 1. What the frick? No, 2. I was gonna say. Adsy with so many more units early on, it's gonna be very hard for Shepard, although he sent an artillery for whatever reason. Strange from Adsy, although there is no way these 2 tanks are gonna get past these 3 tanks and an artillery and a scout and a bunch of other little nasty toys that Adsy has. Adsy raiding Shepard's stuff. So Shepard has gained the lead twice in this series and lost it twice in this series. So Shepard, now having lost the lead for the second time, is going to be hoping to retake it and therefore take the series. But Adsy in a much better position already at the very beginning of the game, and getting this customary gun upgrade. The next time I play Adsy, I'm going to be expecting this. I'm going to be expecting a gun upgrade at around 6:30. I'm going to do my best to prevent him from getting that. So Adsy, you have been warned. If you're watching this, I know how to beat you now. Just kidding. There's no way I can compete with this kind of early game prowess. I'm good in the mid game to late game, but I'm actually pretty bad at at the early game, and Shepard complains that there's no ghetto this time, which probably would have been his best bet because Adsy's running him over on all fronts. And Shepard is probably going to lose this game as well. If Adsy can keep his ACU alive for long enough to get this upgrade, the game will be over. Adsy now with better positioning on his units, and once this gun is online, which it's about to momentarily, Shepard's going to be trapped. And Shepard, his base is at the mercy of Adsy. His ACU is at the mercy of Adsy. Bombers coming in from Shepard. Lots of bombers, actually. A nice idea from Shepard, but too much air from Adsy. He's just got such great economy skills. And we are going to see Shepard lose here. So hopefully people enjoyed this series, and Adsy defends his title 3-2-1.